Well, the basic job that we hired Jim to do was to implement the strategic plan for back then, the Amelia Mary Foundation. And the strategic plan had, I would say, 3 major components. The first one was to take the 2 foundations, St. E's and St. Joe's, and combine them into one. The second one was to actually add resources to make it a more effective foundation. And by resources, I primarily mean higher staff. And by making it more effective, I primarily mean having it raise more dollars than it had in the past. And then the third component was to come up with community projects that the people could support. And Jim did that, or Jim and his staff did that.
Well, you know, I had been working to get this center established for 18 years before Jim came to the scene. Went through quite a few administrations, and nothing worked, just nothing, for always the reason for just keep putting it on the shelf. I met Jim for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes talking to him about my frustrations, about my goals, what I wanted to see happen, he said, you know, I think we're going to do something about it. Right now, in fact, I'm having a meeting with Bob Schroeder, and 3 days later, he said, we're going to start fundraising.
I met with him the first time, and we talked a little bit about whether I'd be interested in being a participant in the project. And it sounded interesting to me, again, because of the scope. It was a little bigger than the things we were normally used to doing. And I went back and I talked to Andrea, and I said, you know, Andrea, I'm impressed with this fella. You know, I said, this guy, he has good knowledge, he's got enthusiasm, he really seems to have a real vision, and I'm impressed.
We were looking for some people that could help us to bring their own expertise to looking at the future for the Sisters of the Humility of Mary, and Jim has been a wonderful part of that, helping us to look at possibilities for financial planning, for how we would move toward overall planning, what we might do with different scenarios, and now he's also helping us with a development advisory committee so that we can move that forward as well.
Well, I asked Jim if he would be interested in being a board member here at Mill Creek Children's Center. He immediately responded that he would, and when he came on board, it was an enormous benefit to the board and to the facility. He was quickly put into the president's spot on the board, and he has led this facility and that board in an absolutely positive and dynamic direction.
I think if there's one word that would really describe Jim, is that he is a friend. He's a very open person. He shares with me a couple of interests. One, we both have a pretty evolved sense of humor. He likes to play golf, and we share that. And he's also a photographer, and so that's something also that I'm interested in. In fact, I have one of his very fine photographs of France in my living room. His friendship goes beyond anything that's personal with me. I think he deals with everything in a very open and friendly manner. Even when he disagrees with you, perhaps, in certain things, well, he still has a way of bringing those disputes into a good pattern that comes to be a resolution, and he doesn't leave people like you come away from him thinking that he must have been right all along. So,
through his years of leadership and his management style, his fundraising ability, he has developed many close friendships with people who have wanted to support all of these activities, and really they continue to provide excellent health care to the community within the valley. And I just am so pleased that he's receiving this award, because there isn't anyone that represents it more truthfully and faithfully.
Well, I think, you know, Jim is one of those folks who come to the scene sometimes in our lives, and then when they leave, you say, I wish they had stayed a little bit longer.
Well, I'm just really like to say congratulations to Jim for this award, and it's truly something that he deserves, and that our whole community, all of the sisters, will be glad to honor him and continue to keep him in our prayers as well.
Thank you so much for being a role model, a mentor, and a true friend to all of us. And just many blessings on him and Kathy and Brian in the future. We're grateful. We thank you.
Jim, we're certainly delighted and honored to be able to speak to you here today and let you know just how much we appreciate our friendship and what we were able to do working in conjunction with you through the Joni Abdu Breast Care Center project. Congratulations.
Good luck in retirement, Jim, and I plan to play golf with you.
Jim, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for agreeing to be part of Mill Creek Children's Center with us. You have benefited this facility enormously. We thank you. We will miss you greatly, and we are so happy to have had you for the time we have. Thank you so much.
I certainly want to extend my congratulations to Jim Schultis. It's been a pleasure to be associated with him, and I expect for that relationship to continue on in the years to come. Thank you, friend.
Jim, you have left a rich legacy, not only in buildings, in organization, and leadership, but also you have given new meaning to philanthropy and fundraising. For that, we are very grateful. We wish you a happy retirement and the best that you deserve, because you are the best.